Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. My personal opinion is that no one can stop XRP, not even the SEC, and that a new all-time high price is absolutely inevitable. And if you look at how whales have been behaving, even after the SEC v. Ripple case was initiated, it's very clear that they've gone into accumulation mode. You know, there's a new all-time high set recently. There's an article about it, about the number of accounts holding at least 1 million XRP. Here's another headline from the Daily Hodl, which reads, in part, Analyst predicts rallies in XRP. There's other stuff going on here. Here's a headline from You Today. Ripple CTO declares NFT revolution on XRP Ledger. And the stories just keep going on and on and on. So you can look at the metrics in terms of how the XRP Ledger is actually being adopted. You can look at who's actually purchasing it, in terms of, accounts and how much is actually being held. You can look at the timing of that too. And it's at a time where the typical retail speculator, many just got, and in many cases understandably so with what's happening with the SEC, the typical retail speculator abandoning ship, running away. And I blame the SEC for some amount of that anyway. But, then you get the people in the know with the big bucks and they see the opportunity. And that's why, given that the asset class is provably moving in tandem, I just think it's an inevitability that XRP will hit a new all-time high at some point in enterprise discovery. I think it's going to change a ton of people's lives. I just firmly believe that. I have for many years now. Now, I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind, so I'm not offering financial advice. You definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, as I'm recording this, XRP is at 45 cents, Bitcoin at $20,430, market cap just over $1 trillion for the asset class, Bitcoin dominance at 38%. So that's just been moving sideways for some time here. Here's the crypto fear and greed index at 30 out of 100. Not surprising, it's a bit up compared to where it's been in, I don't know, if you go back a week and a half ago even, my gosh, we're a lot higher than that. I think it was in like the low 20s or so. Not surprisingly, given that crypto asset class has been inching up a bit. And I'll say this too, nobody knows for sure where the bottom is. Maybe we've already seen it and we just don't know it. For instance, a bottom in the previous cycle for Bitcoin, which leads the market, of course, was December 15th, 2018. Now, it doesn't mean it rocketed up right off that immediately after. It still looked very low. People were very scared immediately after that actual bottom. But that was the actual bottom. People just didn't know it. So maybe we've already seen the bottom and we just don't know it, and we're going to start climbing from here. And fine, maybe not, don't know for sure, but I will say this. I went picking through because I was just curious, just to see with my own eyes something that I know has just been true ever since I jumped into crypto. I just picked a bunch of random coins, even if I don't know what they were. I was going through live coin watch, and you just look at all of them. They're so moving in tandem. If you just look back to how they've been behaving over the last several months or so, it looks like a very clear bottom here. So unless you have some sort of wild card event that happens as a result of some sort of macro occurrence, people are scared, or some sort of unexpected war breaks out, something like, okay, fine. Outside of that, what's probable is that we've already seen the bottom, which means that this might be anyway the tail end of accumulation. But I'll say this, I'm not 100% convinced of that. So in the event that we do see another massive drop down, I've got a boatload of cash sitting in my checking account, ready to be deployed. And I understand that inflation is eating away at it right now, but I want to be ready to pounce. So I want to have that unreasonable amount of cash in the checking account, and I will deploy it if we actually do see something like that. That's just my personal choice. I'm not telling anybody to do that themselves. But for me, I understand that when markets crash like that, most people don't have cash ready. And so even if it's unlikely, I want it there because this is a weird time in life. Even though I think it's more probable the bottom's in, I'm not 100% convinced. I want to be ready to pounce just in case. And take a look at this. Who's been buying XRP in the meantime? Well, here's a headline from You Today. XRP sets all-time high in number of addresses with balances over 1 million. But oh, wait a minute, folks. I thought that XRP was supposed to go to zero. Is it supposed to be out of the top 10 and from many people's perspectives, completely dead by now? Well, that's weird. Piece reads as follows. According to crypto analytics portal Coinmetrics, the number of large wallets with more than 1 million XRP on their balance sheets has reached an all-time high. The amount of such addresses has reached a value of 1,894. And there's a chart on your screen for those of you that care to look here. This pinkish looking line here is the number of addresses with at least 1 million XRP, dating back to 2013. And it's harder to get a million XRP right now, which is part of what makes this so interesting. There's so many more participants jumping in, though. So if you look at the price level now, my gosh. I mean, I remember watching a video at late 2017, and that video was already old by then. It was a video from, I think, 2015, and I was trying to learn how to buy XRP. I was so new, and I was learning how to make my first purchase of XRP. So this would have been November of 2017, almost 5 entire years ago. And this video, I can't remember the exact numbers, but I have a reasonable memory of this. And this guy was explaining how to purchase XRP the way that he did it anyway. And he put down, I don't know if it was like a $100 or $200, something like that. And he got tens of thousands of XRP with the price being what it was at that point. And so it was easier to achieve, I'm just saying, higher levels of XRP holdings back in the day, which is why it's interesting. So who's doing this now? It's not exactly the everyday individual that's doing this. And fine, some of these accounts would be like exchange accounts, some of the very large ones, but typically those have way, way, way more than 1 million. It's just interesting to see that they're inching back up. And participation with the XRP Ledger, including new investors, like that does just keep increasing regardless of the price action. In fact, check this out. Looking at the graph, we can see that the number of XRP whales has been growing relentlessly since the SEC's investigation into Ripple was announced. As early as November 2021, the number of XRP millionaires reached pre-trial levels, and then almost a year later, that record was broken. In total, as reported by you today, the number of XRP addresses is equal to 4.35 million. The total number of XRP contained on these addresses equals 56.68 billion tokens. And of course, the rest of it's ripples. But my gosh, like the growth here, it just keeps going. And so SEC be damned, like I'm just telling you, the vast majority of transactions, they occur outside the United States. And so when XRP hit nearly $4 in the beginning of 2018, almost all of the reason for that was people buying and selling XRP outside of the United States. And then the opportunity for arbitrage, of course, evens out global markets. But it was almost entirely humans outside of the United States. It doesn't matter. That's why I keep saying, like, when this alt season goes, do you think anybody, like, once it goes and people are just making emotional buying and selling decisions, even if this case isn't settled by then, like, or it hasn't been fully adjudicated by then, do you actually think it's going to prevent XRP from hitting a new all-time high in interim price discovery? Because, like, I understand it at this point, fine. Maybe XRP's price is suppressed to whatever degree. I think that's a fair argument here. But we also didn't have a blow-off top with altcoins like we did in late 2017. It wasn't the same environment. So yes, it's true XRP was the only top 10 crypto that didn't hit a new all-time high. Fine. But it wasn't the same environment as late 2017. I was there for it. It was complete mania. Like, I went to a local grocery mart, and there were just people in front of me talking about XRP. I'm like, what in the ever-loving hell is this? It was everywhere. It was literally everywhere. It's crazy stuff. And then, again, Bitcoin leading the market. I don't mind that. That's fine. I'm pro Bitcoin. But look at this headline from the Daily Hodl. Analyst predicts rallies in XRP and one Ethereum-based altcoin. Update stance on Doge rival Shiba Inu. Well, I just want to highlight the part about XRP, which is really brief here. But this is Analyst altcoin Sherpa telling his 186,000 followers on Twitter the following. This is a quote. XRP looks reasonable. Haven't checked this chart in a while. It had a decent run before others, and it looks to be consolidating. I think this one has another move if Bitcoin is stable. And I've been seeing stuff like that before. I just don't, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but the analysts that I follow, they seem to be thinking very similar things. And if Bitcoin goes down, okay, fine, then all bets are off. I've often made the not that funny joke that if Bitcoin sneezes, then you rework your charts for your altcoins too, because everything moves in tandem, damn it. Then there's this headline from you today. Ripple CTO declares NFT revolution on XRP Ledger. And I don't really want to read the article, but they're referencing comments from Ripple CTO David Schwartz, co-creator of the XRP Ledger, that he made on Twitter the other day, having to do with XLS20 being adopted, which enabled uh, layer one adoption on the XRP ledger of NFTs in a very meaningful way, without smart contracts, and you get the blazing speed that you've come to know and love from XRP and the XRP ledger. So here's what David Schwartz had to say about this. And look, NFTs are here to stay, so there is a very real chance that you could get major adoption in the world of NFTs on the XRP ledger, and that requires the usage of XRP, mind you. And so even if it's only a minimal amount of XRP that ends up getting used, I'm just saying if, I don't think it matters, because that's going to instill confidence in XRP and the XRP ledger that it's going to be here to stay. So people that want to come into the space, maybe they're investing for the first time, even if they're investing for the first time in crypto 5 years from now, there will be all sorts of new people coming in 5 and 10 years from now. You're here early, my friends. Even if that's the case, if they're like, oh, well, I mean, it's probably not going to go away. Maybe if I just want to diversify and put something into crypto, why wouldn't XRP and the XRP ledger be reasonable? Might it be around for a while? And this is just one thing. So should we get staying power, which is not a guarantee, but should we? It's another thing, just ensuring the long-term viability of XRP and the XRP ledger. So David Schwartz said the following: thanks to the collective effort of the XRPL community and RippleXDev at RippleXDev engineers, XLS20 is now enabled on the XRP ledger mainnet, and a few NFTs have already been minted. And you've probably heard about this by now, but I wanted to mention this. It went live on Halloween, October 31st. There are so many legal happenings occurring that I was so behind, admittedly, I couldn't cover everything. And so I haven't even gotten to touch on this yet. So you got to kind of pick and choose. Went with covering the labor-intensive legal happenings, the amicus briefs and stuff, but I did want to mention this here still. And then David said, tokenization is not new to the XRP ledger, but this presents a key milestone for developers and creators to tokenize any asset and build innovative Web3 projects with utility. The new standard introduces native NFTs on the XRP ledger to represent unique assets along with efficient, secure operations to enumerate, transfer, and hold such tokens. Thank you for the patience and support in making native NFTs on the XRP ledger a reality. And so again, just to bring the point home, I firmly believe that XRP will be hitting a new all-time high at some unknown point in the future, and it's going to enter price discovery. I think it's going to make a lot of people really, really, really life-changingly wealthy. And don't forget that from the bottom of the top, if you talk about when XRP launched, up until when it finally hit close to $4, it took about 5 years. So sit tight. But we're through the worst of it, I think. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.